I'm going to read the story that I have in a book that hasn't come out yet. This is what it's going to look like, though, when it's not going to look like that, but that's the cover of it. And that's her on the cover, looking all sexy. But yeah, it has, the theme is strip club, so it has a bunch of stories and go-go bars and whatever set in there, and then it's kind of like a nudie old-time magazine where it has like pin-up pictures in there with it. So I have pictures in there with the story that kind of go with the theme a bit. So I can't actually pronounce the title of my own story. I could try though. Wowlinzerland. Yeah. Okay, so crap. Also, well, let me ask you guys, because there's a fair amount of there's a fair amount of coke and anal sex. So, do you want me to read it, or do you want me to skip over, like, do a censored version?
No. Absolutely not.
I think we've all been there.
Okay.
If I have to read my filth, you have to read yours.
There's so much of it. I don't think about when I write it. When
The
I
more
write
the
it,
better.
I'm like, I gotta be like really crazy, and then I read it, I'm like, I can't believe I wrote this shit. Like, this is coming out of my mouth. Like, this is horrible. Okay. The sign over the archway said Wonderland. The man in the black silk top hat walked in, casting a shadow through the red-lit doorway, like a black rainbow, fragmenting. He scraped the ice off his black leather shoes on the doorstep and shook the snow off his hat. He was tired, dead tired. Being an undertaker was a draining job. All day it was corpses, the tears of strangers, and hothouse bushels of flowers bursting into the air like overdressed socialites slumming it in the ghetto. He was the mummy dresser, the shit-smooth talker, the mirror of death, like he was a fortune teller or a savior. He was the empty receptacle of their endless pain. He did it with grace. He did it with a tender touch and a level head, even though each day he felt less and less concern and more of a creeping numbness that was comforting and terrifying at the same time. He feared his eyes showed insincerity, and yet no one seemed to notice that he was already going through the motions most of the time. The tears, the thank you cards, the wedding invitations just kept on flowing like rain on black ice. He was sliding, and he was icing over. He was glad it was winter. It suited his black moods. He was grateful for strip clubs. At the end of the day, he needed to unwind, big time. He got off work at 12 a.m. It was time to shake some of that death cloud off himself. He wished he could just dust it off like the snow on his hat. It was warm inside the Wonderland Cabaret. The girls were dancing everywhere. That felt good. There were girls dancing everywhere. That felt good. There was unlimited booze. That felt good. He sat down, ordered a scotch, and focused his gaze upon the stage like it was time for services at temple. Time to relax. Time to forget about death and sadness and misery. Time to drink in the stage show and desecrate the dancing body temples with his eyes. White Rabbit. Alice. That is the name of the dancer that walks onto the stage as I drink my scotch. Grace Slick's smoky voice fills the room, singing White Rabbit. Alice works her way across the chessboard of the stage, spinning around the mushroom pole. The room is filled with blue smoke, but I can see her writhing through the haze. She's good. She dances like she was made for the music. I drink it in. I drink my drink, and I drink her movements with my eyes, and I dig the music with my eardrums, drumming to the beats. She gets down to a sheer black lace brown thong, and I can see the carpet does not match the drapes. She comes up to me, all big eyes and curves, and asks if I wanted a dance in the blue room. I say yes. I think yes. I feel that yes down to my bones, and my bone firms up as I get up to follow her. Once we are in the blue room, we sit for a few and share a drink. She downs the scotch like it is nothing. I can tell she is drunk, but she still can dance and stay on her feet. She gets on my lap. She's grinding on me, making me hard. I want to be inside her. Kissing is off limits, but I paid for everything. Her gorgeous mouth is on my cock before I can even begin to wonder where this is going. It feels amazing. She knows what she's doing. She sucks on me like if she does not get my cum, she will starve. She is hungry, or at least she is damn good at faking like she is. This is her job, to make men believe she wants them and needs them. Just as I feel like I'm gonna blow, she stops and takes out some white powder. She asks me if I want any. I'm dazed. She takes out a makeup mirror from some crack in the wall. It has skulls and roses etched on the outside. She cuts out a few lines and she does 3. I sit down beside her and stroke her beautiful blonde hair. The rush hits me hard. My nose burns. I feel the sickly sweet drip down my throat. But then the adrenaline hits me. Her eyes are wide with dark fire. I kiss her and it makes me hunger for the wetness between her legs. I tear off her black lace thong and before I know it, I am inside her. I thrust and thrust and the wetness surrounds me. My cock, the needle, the cure. I pull out and start fucking her from behind. It feels amazing and she moans louder. She screams like she's being slaughtered, but she tells me to fuck her harder. So I do until her face is buried in the pillow and all I hear are pale whimpers. Her ass is up in the air and she is gasping for air. I'm afraid I'm going to come, so I pull out. She shoots me daggers with her eyes. What are you doing? She asks, breathless, wanting, and dazed. I'm getting close, I answer breathlessly. Fuck me in the ass then. I like it, she fires back, with a seductive and perverse softness dripping from her voice. Her ass glows in the dark like twin moons. I plunge into the tight spiral of darkness hidden in between. My cock slides in smoothly after the initial push against her dry outer skin and tightness. The harder I pound, the smoother it goes. She moans and screams, but she does not tell me to stop, so I don't. Harder, harder, harder. As I pound into her, the sensations change. My body is being sucked inside of her like I'm sinking into quicksand. I can't pull out and I'm afraid. I feel like I'm being vacuumed up like a pile of dust and I am suddenly falling. Either the hole is very deep or I'm falling very slowly. I am surrounded by mud and roots that drip with glittering green ooze. I try to grab onto the roots as I fall, but they are slippery and cut my hands. The ooze burns and glitter fills my wounds. Finally, I hit the soft ground with a splash. My clothes are soaked. It smells like fresh earth and some kind of bitter herb. I crawl out of the stinking swamp and stagger towards city lights. Soon I see a glowing red sign flashing neon through the musty fog that is rising like swamp gas from this impenetrable blackness. It reads, "The Rabbit Hole." Inside the rabbit hole, it is suffocatingly warm. I take off my hat and cloak. I sit down, I order a drink. A rabbit-headed cocktail waitress in a white vinyl bustier miniskirt and thigh-high go-go boots comes over to me. She smiles and her sharpened shark white teeth glisten. Her nose twitches. "What would you like to drink?" she asks with a soft, smoky voice, tilting her head coquettishly. I stare blankly at her. "Would you like the house specialty?" Okay, I reply. She walks off, her curvaceous hips swinging atop 6-inch heels, her long white rabbit ears bobbing up and down. I must be going mad. I went to some damn strip club, I drank too much, I fucked some stripper named Alice, and now I'm having some hellish fever dream. Sweat it out, drink your drink, act normal, and none of these crazy rabbit-headed people will eat your face off with their knife teeth. She brings me some green drink I do not recognize with a sprig of clover on top. It tastes minty and I drink it down as my eyes dart around the room. White dominates the decor. There is a fountain with 3 rabbit-headed, naked porcelain women spinning slowly in the center, their asses towards each other, their heads tilted upwards, as their open mouths and vaginas gush endless streams of milky liquid. The tables are round and white, and the chairs are all cushioned in thick white fur. The tables are all lit by neon crystal balls that spin at their centers. There is a crowd of mean-looking jackrabbits sitting at a nearby table. They're laughing, they're hideous. They have human torsos, but they are grotesque, with huge ears, big noses twitching as they glance sideways at me with their beady eyes full of hate. They are puffing away on huge green cigars that smell like burnt asparagus. Their laughter sounds like manic shrieks. I feel the distrust in their eyes on me. I decide to just leave. I grab my cloak, down my drink, and flip my hat back upon my head. Then I see one grab one of the rabbit-headed waitresses. I watch them from the shadows. Two of them hold her down. Another puts his giant paw in her mouth, covering almost her whole face, save her eyes. The other two grab her breasts and twist her nipples till they spurt milk. They lick and lap at her full, soft breasts and bite her nipples with their sharp teeth as she squirms and struggles, her large eyes bald with fear. I do not want to stick around to find out what they might do to me once they've had their fun with her. I am in their territory. I am their meat, so I bolt. Alice. Alice wakes up naked, hungover, and alone. Her legs are so sore she can't even walk. She looks down at herself and sees blood. Her heart beats fast like a rabbit. She scrambles to her feet and rushes to the bathroom, even though her legs are shaking. When she heads to the sink and looks in the mirror, she realizes that the blood is coming from the bruise that is already purpling around her asshole. That's why you need lube. Memories of the strange man. This is inspired by a true story, but I'm not going to tell you what the true story is. Memories of the. That's already too much information.
I didn't do it.
Memories of the strange. I don't have a strip club inside my ass. If that's what you're wanting. Maybe, who knows. Memories of the strange man in the silk top hat flood back into her brain. She splashes cold water on her face and tries to take a good look at herself in the mirror, but nothing looks right. Her eyes seem unfamiliar and she feels like she's not seeing herself no matter how long she stares. Her eyes lose focus and she hears a voice inside, followed by an odd palpitation in her chest. "Where am I?" the voice says. The voice is familiar, but she can't place it. She ignores it and gets into the dingy, cramped shower. One naked light bulb swings slowly in circles, casting distorted shadows upon the grimy walls as she rinses herself. Her body is sore but numb. She stares at her legs and her pussy, with black hairs already thickly growing back like an army of ants, as the blood runs down her legs. She leans against the shower and she hears the voice again through the splattering of the water. "Stop crying, it's too wet. My boots are already soaked." Alice inhales sharply in a panic. "Who is talking?" she asks aloud. "I am inside you now. I was downstairs, but I think I'm moving upstairs." "Huh?" "I'm inside you." "Who are you?" "I am inside you. It's all green. It's like a jungle." "Who the fuck is talking?" Alice screams. She is getting paranoid. She gets out of the shower. "I was hoping you knew," the strange yet familiar voice replies in a soft and frightened tone. Alice walks over to the medicine cabinet and takes out a bottle of sleeping pills. She is certain she is going mad, or she is possessed with a demon inside her. She runs a bath and lays down in it, even though the tub is filthy. Sobbing, she feels a stirring in her chest and it hurts. It feels like a cancer or a creature crawling inside her. It repulses and terrifies her. Alice fills a glass with tap water and dumps a pile of sleeping pills into her shaking hand as tears flow, blurring her vision. "Where am I?" She hears the voice again. She downs the pills, grabs her iPod, and lays down in the tub, putting in the earbuds to drown out the voice in her head. "One pill makes you larger and..." well, I can't sing. "And one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Call Alice when she was just this small." The pills take effect and she sinks into the water, her hair floating above her like white fire. She sinks into the blackness of dead air, with gray slick blaring in her ear as the water fills up her lungs. White light, white heat. I see a glow on the horizon, and I keep running, first on two legs, then bounding on all fours. My feet turn into paws. I don't stop, and I can't stop. I run, and soon I am running straight off the ground up towards that glow. I hop through the air, weightless, as if through water. I break on through the sonic supernova of Grace Slick's voice. I am inside the nothing of whiteness. My head pounds, my ears grow long and hairy as tribal drums bleed a river of sound into my ear canal. My rabbit heart beats fast. Run, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, run. Run, rabbit, run. That's it.